Yeah, week's been going well. Obviously, coming off a win, everyone's happy about that. We know there's some areas that we can improve, but when you play in a game like that, and sometimes it's not the cleanest, and maybe you don't play your best, to still find a way to get a win is really important, not only for your confidence, but in the standings. Obviously, anytime you can pick up 3 points, especially at home, it's super important. So, taking that confidence. It's also the first time this year where we've gone down and come from behind and gotten the victory. So that'll give us a lot of confidence going forward as well. So we know that going into Seattle, it's going to be a really difficult game. It's a tough place to play, a lot of travel. There's a million excuses you can make, but ultimately we need to go in with the mentality that we're going for 3 points. And no matter how the game goes or what's thrown at us, we need to be resilient and we need to play for the full 90 minutes.
Thanks, Joe. We'll start with Ben. Go ahead and ask two if you have them. And then if you're on Zoom and you have a question, please use the hand raise function.
Sure. You mentioned just it wasn't the cleanest game against RSL. What were some of the things that stood out to you that you feel like you can kind of clean up and do better at?
Yeah, I mean, just little things like connecting passes, catching the ball. I think just little things like that are more of the technical side of the game as opposed to strategic side of the game. But I think that's also a thing where that you have games like that where it's not as clean as you want it to be, and you're trying, but the passes just aren't coming off. And ultimately, I think you need to just fight through it and trust in the system and what we're doing, and trust that the next pass you are going to make. And I think from a defensive standpoint, they got a few chances early on, and we've looked at video of that and know how we can clean that up. So yeah, we made some adjustments throughout the game, and those seem to help. And I think it's a credit to not only our coaching staff and recognizing what was going on in the game, but also to everyone who's on the field being able to stay tuned in and to fight until the last minute.
And then obviously Seattle have been one of the best teams in MLS over the last decade, maybe longer. What do you expect from them? It feels like they're one of the teams that, like, regardless of form, they're always just really tough to play against.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. It doesn't matter what their last result was. It doesn't matter what their last 5 results are. It doesn't matter who's on the field for them. Anytime you go to Seattle, you're in for a battle. So we talk a lot about intensity being the starting point for us. So that's definitely going to have to be the case. We're going to need to go in with the right mentality that it's going to be a fight, and if we're going to get 3 points, we're really going to have to earn it.
Joe, your game on Charlotte was one of the best, like everybody said, best first half you played this season. And then you have 25 minutes in the last game that were very tough for you guys also. You already mentioned some of the stuff that happened, but it's just the rival that makes those things happen when a team can actually play, because Charlotte's a pretty good team, I mean, don't get me wrong, but you can play against them a very, very good 45 minutes, and then you come in and kind of give away 25 in the next game. What's going on there, if you could tell us?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Charlotte game was a bit of an anomaly considering what happened with Walker. I think a lot of the guys were pretty emotional after that happened, and it was, not to make excuses, but it was difficult for us to stay focused for that last 25 minutes. I think also, kind of alluded to it earlier, but Charlotte made some changes at halftime, and I don't think we adjusted to their changes as well as we should have, and they were able to get on the front foot a little bit more and retain more possession than we were. So I think it's about, like I said, the mentality of playing for 90 minutes and not giving up on plays and not quitting until the job's done, as well as being able to adjust on the fly when we recognize that the opponent has changed something in their shape or personnel.
Now, in terms of Seattle, I mean, you already said that there's a team that's always ready to play no matter what position they are, what's going on with them. But from the scouting report, what's the main things that you have to be aware of when you go to that city and play them at home?
They have some dangerous attacking players. doesn't matter who's on the field for them, but they have a lot of firepower up front. They like to play combinations through the middle of the field and attack down the center. So we need to stay compact defensively. We need to deny central passes. We need to force them wide and defend crosses as well as we can. And yeah.
We'll go to Jacob on the Zoom, then John.
Yeah, Joe, what do you emphasize to guys, especially younger players, and with this team being kind of as young as it is, what do you emphasize to those guys on the team before a road game in a tough environment like Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a tough environment, but I think we can look back on games like Philadelphia where we go to another tough environment and we're able to play well and get a win there. So, we talk a lot about the first time we've done things this season, and we like to commemorate those in a way. And the reason to do that is so that when we get into a new situation, we can look back at all the things we've done. And like I said, we went into Philly, a difficult place to play. So we know going into Seattle, it's not going to be easy, but we can have the confidence that we've done something similar before, and we're capable of doing it again.
You mentioned that confidence from the first time doing things, and Saturday was the first time you came back from a deficit to win a game this year. Is that a similar moment against Real Salt Lake that you can take?
For sure. We know that no matter what happens in a game, whether we give up a goal in the first minute or the 85th minute, that we are obviously capable of coming back and scoring again. And that was also the first time I think that we've had a goal that late. So the past 2 weeks we've lost on goals basically in the 90th minute. So to be able to score one in the 90th minute, it gives us confidence, and it gives us the belief that, like I said, we need to play the full 90 minutes and know that there can still be goals in the game for us if we get into a bad spot.
Go ahead, John, and then we'll go to Valer.
Joe, I wonder if you can talk a little bit about Jason Palacios. Obviously, stepped into a pretty difficult role there. What have you seen from him last couple games in terms of his play and also, communication, filling in for a team captain and a guy who's obviously a real leader on the field there?
Yeah, I think anytime we lose Walker, it's definitely difficult, but Jason, I thought, was fantastic in the game on the weekend. He's an excellent player. He is confident on the ball. He has good vision to pick up passes. He has really good 1v1 defending abilities. He's a big guy. He's good in the air. He has all the tools to be a successful central defender for our team and in this league. So like I said, when you miss a guy like Walker, it's difficult, but I think Jason has done an excellent job of stepping into that role and helping us to make sure that we don't miss a beat.
Just to follow on that, I know Walker's probably kind of like a field general, if you will, in terms of communication. Is that, part of the challenge too for a guy like Jason when he steps in, especially the fact that he's new to the team this year?
Yeah, definitely. It is challenging at times. There's a little bit of a language barrier, but and not the same familiarity considering he hasn't played as much. But that's also something that we've talked a lot about, where it's the next man up mentality. We play the same system and expect the same things out of each role, no matter who the person is in that role. So he's done his homework. He knows what's expected of him in that when he plays. So hopefully, communication is a super important part of that position and playing any position really in soccer. But hopefully, we all know our roles well enough that it can mitigate some of the communication issues that may arise.
Go ahead, Valer.
Hey, Joe. We know you have a goalkeeper union, but it's a new one this year with the new additions to the team. What have you made of the new faces within the goalkeeper position?
Yeah, it's been great so far. Brian and Xavier have been excellent. We and Danny as well. Danny's a new addition, and I think we've all formed a really good relationship with each other. We push each other. We have open communication with each other. We do video sessions together. I think it's been really great to have that kind of relationship with each other, because it's healthy competition where we're all pushing to play the one position and to be the one guy who gets to start. But at the same time, we're all supporting each other, and we all play for the same team. So no matter who's on the field at the time, we're all rooting for each other, because, you know, their success is my success and vice versa, because, you know, we play a team sport.
And then additionally, it was just announced like 10 minutes ago that you'll be facing the Chattanooga Red Wolves in the U.S. Open Cup round of 32, first round for you guys. In the locker room, we've asked BJ Cullen about this, but in the locker room, what is the discussion around the U.S. Open Cup from a player's perspective?
Well, this is the first I'm hearing that we just drew Chattanooga for the game, so that's exciting. Exciting to have a game. Are we hosting it? We're hosting it, right? Yeah. So that'll be fun. A little in-state derby, if you will. You know, to be honest, we haven't talked a lot about the Open Cup right now. We're focused on the next game, but from my personal experience, the Open Cup is a really fun tournament, one that I love, and one that is not only, in my mind, a prestigious trophy to win in this country, but also an awesome opportunity for some guys who maybe don't play as much in the regular season to get some minutes and to show what they're worth. And so I think it's overall just an awesome tournament.